But then because I come up with my own opinions. Like, for an example, I like the Emoji movie. Yeah, I actually mean it. I mean, I'm pretty sure you probably hate the movie, because almost everybody hates the movie. But
It took him a while to come to the realization that spamming isn't punishable by law. I guess...
Bruh, I don't believe that anymore. So now you're basically partly bringing up my past.
He isn't familiar with the prohibition of spam consumption throughout the olden days. He apparently has Josh live rent-free in his head by posting about him from time to time. That rant video from Josh sure is haunted Emoji Marbles, huh? What's somewhat shocking about Marbles is that despite how long he's been on YouTube, this is apparently the first time he accidentally said the satanic F word, ignoring the fact he uses a Morbellian Filthy Frank clips with that same word in content.
It's not actually me who's saying it. I mean, I said the word with my actual voice. Those are just clips, you know. That helped me prove my point.
Much like anyone with the mindset of a Go animator, his takes aren't very bright to say the least. One example is in his 80 worst movies list. He mostly puts in horror movies, which I can understand why some would hate the genre, but do you have to have it take up 80% of the list? Also, I love how he added in 100 years despite the fact he'll be dead before he even gets the chance to see it in full.
Wait, what? How is this? Okay, you know what? I'm never gonna bother saying this, but anyways, that's pretty much the reason why. Because here's a fun fact. It's actually true. Look at this. See? Anyways, I'm just gonna move on with this.
He also adds in shit that isn't considered movies at all, like Spiffy Pictures EXE Adventure, Caillou Gets Grounded, and BFB Cape Shit. These masterpieces deserve to be nominated for 74 Emmys. And
well, I mean, they are considered online movies, actually, so... yeah, and plus I might need to...
One of his parts of that 10,000 by the numbers list, he hates Fanta and blueberries just because it could be orange juice and he spilled the blueberries respectively. About the former, it's still orange flavored, and why would it be a trick if it's carbonated in a completely different shade of orange?
Look, it's actually really a long story why I don't like Fanta. But how about this, if... yeah, you know what, I'm not even gonna bother.
As for the latter, holding a grudge against freaking blueberries all because you dropped them?
I wasn't actually on a ladder, I was just getting a fridge.
One time, next thing you know, you would cry over spilled milk and then end up hating it forever.
Yeah, here's the thing though, milk dries off quickly, you know. Blueberries, on the other hand, they don't dry off at all because they're not even drinks at all.
No shit, Sherlock.
And so you just pick them up and you just have to throw them away, which is a problem.
During the time of the Josh debacle, he thinks that in his infinite wisdom, Josh would be better at rants if he ranted on failed troll nobodies that only Marbles gives a shit about while sounding like Gollum from Lord of the Rings.
Hi, I'm Cool Speedy Josh, the guy that wrote the Rose live stream. Remember me? The guy that said the N-word?
And remember when he said that criminals can be forgiven? Well, in his ranking Cool Speedy Josh's rants, Marbles clarified that take when talking about his rant on Futuristic Hub that only murders can't be forgiven.
Criminals can still be forgiven, unless they're a killer.
Have you ever considered that pedophilia and rape plays a role in that sentiment as well?
Okay, yeah, you actually do make a great point. And plus, here's a fun fact. Science Guy 732 is a great example of Philadelphia due to the fact that he loves to make X-simming videos. And also, rape is actually kind of the same thing as murder due to the fact that rape means killing somebody.
I swear, these Nimrods wouldn't know the true definition of a criminal if it struck them in the head. Now, one of the most annoying factors from Emoji Marbles is the fact that he keeps denying that he can't handle any sort of feedback. Most of the time he either contradicts it
because not handling any kind of feedback would mean actually being raging in all caps. And so yeah, that's actually kind of rude. I actually do listen to the feedback and I would like to see if there is anything I would like to say about it.
So this means nothing to you. So this means nothing to you. So this means nothing to you. So this means nothing to you.
Either he's commentating on or just uses stupid and overused media clips to unsuccessfully prove his point. He most commonly does it on videos ranting on him, even the ones made by trolls who are clearly trying so hard to get a rise out of him, which seems to be working considering how he did them on slander videos of all things. The most notable commentary of where he tries so hard to dodge criticism is the one from Sticks Must Be Consumed. He made a really good point of how inconsistent his editing is by how—
Bruh, hating someone because of their editing is also invalid, so what you're saying is wrong. Editing is not a good reason to hate on somebody.
we flip-flops between editing and screen recording.
Like for example, Emoji Marbles made a commentary on my friend What Are You Doing Here This Is Good, and he used an editing software, yet for this commentary, he used a screen recorder.
But to that, he just says this.
Is there a problem with that? Anyways, I mean, sometimes I feel motivated to use a video editor software, while sometimes I also feel motivated using a screen recorder. So really, is that a problem to you?
Yes, he used the I feel like it card.
At least it's not as bad as using the victim card.
Shut up.
Unless your computer has some problems, I don't see how that even justifies switching between those two methods, especially if one of those has you do the commentary in one take. He then points out how Marbles made the original commentary about an hour after Sticks made his review, and once again dodges criticism by saying this.
So, what's wrong with that? Giving commentaries whenever I want?
Well, Marbles, if you really want to rush your commentaries to have them become a jumbled mess, then so be it. Marbles just keeps getting defensive over feedback for a couple more minutes and then says this about the YouTube in Portuguese.
I don't even speak that other languages, so how am I supposed to know that? You should have told me from the start!
Dude, is using Google Translate really that much of a chore to you? Besides, the fact that
I'm actually using Google Translate now, don't worry.
category buttons are in Portuguese should give it away. Jesus Christ, how are you so oblivious to that? Later on in the commentary, Sticks questions how Marbles was inevitably interrupted while recording. And you want to know his excuse for doing this instead of editing? Just take a guess.
This is why you should always use an editing software.
I don't have to use always an editing software.
I didn't have to.
Seriously, and besides, I sometimes get interruptions when I use an editing software.
Okay, yeah, you'll be inevitably interrupted while editing as well. But is it better than having someone walk in on you recording, thus making the commentary more of a disaster than it already is? If you really could handle criticism, you would take that and many others into consideration, but as expected, you didn't.
That's not actually not okay. Let me tell you this: if you really feel like denying criticism is not actually not handling pain and criticism, then you're wrong.
Yeah, I know a couple of people already made several videos on this facial expression of a 4/3 pi radius cubed, but his constant insistence on handling criticism and being an overall content farm tempted me to give my 2 cents on him. I seriously don't even get how someone who milks all this content could gain the attention of 8,000 people, and yet only have hundreds of views. But then again, the answer to that will probably have to do with the word algorithm. I would have more to say, but really everyone else at this point has made statements on him that haven't been said before. And with that, the rant ends here. Thanks for watching, this is the Package Reviewer, signing off.
Threatened to kill Pichu! Why Pichu? Pichu doesn't deserve it!
Yo, who the fuck put Michael Jackson in the freezer?
That's all, chicken. That's chicken, folks. Chicken, chicken, chicken. Just give me some chicken.